Welcome to the Motown India show. We have here with us Oleksandr Danylenko and Yevgen Sokolnikov. These two young gentlemen are Ukrainian entrepreneurs with co-founders of Boodmo, a spare parts portal. We're going to ask them a few questions. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
First and foremost, what does the word Boodmo mean? And most importantly, from Ukraine, what brings you all the way from Ukraine into India?
So Boodmo is pure Ukrainian word. So we tried to find some spare parts related names, but they were taken. And Boodmo is a very good word, meaning like we will be.
It's like call to action in Ukrainian. Something like let we be, let us be.
That's quite interesting. That's quite interesting. And has the word worked for you?
As of now, yes. Yeah, it's good just because it's different. We think that from marketing perspective it will be much more easier for you to remember. Maybe not easy to pronounce, we didn't know this at the first time, but now it's everything's fine.
But I guess it catches on.
But if you will write, pronounce, and you will see it, you will remember.
Absolutely.
That's the idea.
You established your business sometime in August 2015, and you started your dealings in 17. It took you a few years. Why this little gap?
Yeah, more than 1 year. So its gap was very natural for us because we were totally new for a market, and we realized that the market doesn't have information required to build such kind of business. So we are talking about the catalogs. So in order to collect the information, we need some time. And database for spare parts, they're so big and difficult, so standard solutions are not appropriate. And we had to build a specific database from scratch to accommodate all the part numbers, all the products, descriptions, and catalogs inside of one system. So it took quite a long time as well to approach vendors and explain them what we're going to do. So
okay.
Cumulatively, it took some time.
So other saying it was so this time was necessary for creation of MVP of our product.
Okay. And both of you, I mean, Oleksandr and Yevgen, how did you discover India? You know, you're Ukrainians, and what made you come to India?
So India is a very famous country outside, right? So it's a big with good history. We always wanted to see and explore it more deep. But when it comes to business, right? So it's something different. As of now, India is quite open for foreign investments, and we find out that marketplaces are quite popular here. So I'm talking about online marketplaces, but we didn't find anything related to spare parts. It's quite a huge industry, and it's very important for India, and it's not presented online. So we decided to address this issue and build something huge here.
Okay. You agree with that, Yevgen?
Absolutely. So it's our, common point of view.
Okay. Are you happy with the progress you've been making?
Sure. So every time you're expecting from business some, expectation, but yes, we're happy with it. So we are completely in our, budget and in our initial plan.
Our initial plan was quite bigger, right? When we before coming here, but right now when we inside, right? So we're inside, so we are in our current data plan, so everything's fine.
Now we understand market much better than before.
Okay. And how does it all work? I mean, you have tie-ups with suppliers, and then, there are a lot of, maybe more than 3,000 Indian and international brands. Do you stock them? Do you have a warehouse, or is it from a supplier directly to a retail guy? What's the model like?
So we changed our model several times. So initially, in our minds, we were on creating just marketplace where it's just IT project where customer and suppliers can meet and deal some orders, right? So we tried this model. We work with this model 3 months, I guess, and after that we understood that no, it will not work for India. So main challenge that we are facing here, it's in supply channel. So our suppliers are not ready to serve customers as well as we want. And we decided to open sorting hub in Delhi and touch every product that we are selling through our platform. So only in this way we can control all processes and we can guarantee quality of our services.
So who do you supply to? Eventually, who are your buyers? I mean, are they these retail guys or are they workshops? Or?
As of now, the main customer for us is end customer. Like, it's not always do it yourself because customers can bring their products to the workshop and ask them to install. In this way, they know, they see what they buy, they know the fair price and give it to workshop. So as soon as we have bigger volumes, we got better margins, and we now can help as well workshops, not only by discount, but having this sort hub, we can deliver products faster. So gradually, the workshops are also becoming our customers. So we also cater customers like corporate customers who had their own park of vehicles and they found it convenient to order from everything from one place with proper invoices.
Okay, but when you talk about end customer, as far as I know, when an end customer has to get something repaired, he goes to a workshop.
Yeah.
You know, so he entrusts the workshop guy to take care of his parts. So how often do you perhaps get a guy calling up and saying, I want this part, or writing in that I want this part? I mean, is it getting popular?
So, you know, we sometimes compare this process with your visit to doctor. Mm-hmm. When you go to doctor give you some prescription.
Absolutely.
So doctor do not sell you any medicine, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So in this case, also customer gets some prescription. It can be on the paper, it can be just in the words. So after that, customer get to our site and we're helping him to find all these parts with good prices, with delivery in time to his location.
Okay, typically what are these parts? I mean, are these expensive parts or, I mean...
But they are very different. Okay. So why in this world they will go to online if they have everything on the retail market? It means that we started selling first. Our sales were not for brake pads or filters, but bumpers and windscreens because they are not so easy available on the local market. So right now we are selling all range of products, but initially we start from very rare. So as well we do the import of products because not all parts are available for imported cars, for example.
Okay.
So for rare parts we are the #1 place where to go.
Okay, and how soon are you able to reach to the customer with the parts?
You mean deliver?
That's right.
It depends on availability on the supplier side. So for each part, you can see on the website online the time of delivery, and we do everything possible to deliver in mentioned time and earlier.
Okay. And what has competition been like now that you spent a few years in India? Do you find a lot of competition in this kind of business?
So unfortunately we do not face any competitors in India, so it's very bad, you know. No, it's not so good. So for when we came to India, we faced out that you know, selling of spare parts in e-commerce is zero. Market doesn't exist. You know, we decided to be exactly on this market. You cannot be #1 when your market is zero, right? So first of all, you have to work on development of this market. And right now, our efforts spread to developing this market. And somehow we're trying to communicate with our future competitors and trying to help them. So because we spent 2 years creation catalogs, we have all this information. We sharing this information with them. So we are interested right now having our competitors here, because together we can develop market much faster than we do it alone. Our vision is not always same as the vision of Indian sailors. So the main pattern that we are facing here is just to take some open source CRM, open source engine, just upload some generic pictures there and trying to sell it these goods like usual retail product. It doesn't work here. So you have to provide applicability of this part. You have to provide needful level of serving your customer. For example, we confront with situation in India that no one of suppliers doesn't accept returns from their customer. Even if you will go to the market physically, will buy some rare thing, come back to your home and realize that this part is not suit your car, you will not be able to return it back.
It's going to be difficult, yes.
Yes, unfortunately, the standards of this market, and all our suppliers from this market. So we do not have return processes with our relations with our suppliers, but we provide this to our customer. So it's not fair, it's not legal when you're selling something, when you promise something to customer. Absolutely. And after that it became useless to him. So we accepting all returns if this part is not damaged, if this part is not used, we accept it.
Okay, so that perhaps is a great USP for your kind of business.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of them, so we have.
Market is on initial stage, online market, and we try to protect our customer and build the trust in online sales. So the more competitors with same vision, the better for market, better for us as well.
Okay.
And it works very good because we see it on retention of our customers. For example, right now we have 40% of retention our customers. It means that 40% of all our customers has second order with us. So they trust us, they like our services, and we are happy from this.
Just a couple of more questions. So what are your other USPs?
Other USPs? So as we mentioned, we built the catalogs. So we have the biggest comprehensive catalogs and part number information. We do the pictures in our hub. So when we pack products for customers on behalf of suppliers, we do the picture. So you can find the pictures online. So it's very important, right? So you can count number of T's on these T's, for example. So we accept returns.
Okay. And one last question is, where do you see your business heading? Do you have any targets? Do you have any expansion plans? Do you want to buy over some other company?
So there is nobody to buy as of now. Market is on, as I said, on this initial stage. The industry in whole is very huge. So we estimate our market where we're dealing right now is approximately $5 billion. So online market is zero. We expect it will be 5-7% in 5 years, and we're going to be number one and take at least 50% of this online channel. Afterwards, when we will feel that we on the proper track with our spare parts for passenger cars only, we'll go for bikes and for commercial vehicles and for other adjacent markets.
So how soon do you think that will take?
So it depends. It really depends. So tomorrow we open new hub in Jaipur. So our plan is to open much more, let's say 20 in next 2 years hubs. And after that, when we will feel strong in this spare parts market and for passenger cars, we will add some bikes. If it will be much more easy, so we will start it sooner.
Okay, but when you talk of hubs, what does it really mean?
So hub, it is a sorting warehouse. When we receive the products and repack it, check, make a photo, and send it to the customer. So about the challenges, you mentioned this about the suppliers. They were not ready to work this marketplace. While the customers are aware of the idea of buying something online, suppliers of vendors of spare parts, they didn't have this experience before, and they don't like to work with end customers, not all of them, but they have very good products which should be offered online. So, and we start working with them in slow manner, and when we offer them opportunity to take and repack on their behalf, they being more agree for this. So that's why we start opening these hubs.
Okay, and these are typically, how big are they in terms of space?
They're really small. It's 2,000 square feet only. Okay. Just for take, repack, and send the same day, not to lose any time.
So you find the business in India very promising?
Yes, it's a huge potential here.
I agree with Alex. So that's why we are here. So we are building business, and we invest a lot of money right now in this business. And as usual businessmen, we expect to return our money in future, right?
Absolutely.
So this can be done only with having good market share of big market. That's it.
And you're here to stay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wish you the very best, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
much.